Welcome to Northern Arizona. This 240-mile route weaves together some of the region's finest trails, including the Arizona Trail and the iconic Red Rock single track of Sedona. I'm excited to take in the sweeping desert vistas, sleep under the stars, and reward myself with cold beer and more calories than any human being should ever consume. From a grueling ascent up Mingus Mountain to a heartbreaking accident with my brand new camera, this ride presented me with new challenges, but in the end, it was an unforgettable experience. I'm excited to take you with me bikepacking the Coconino Loop. Alright, I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona to ride the Coconino Loop. It's a 240-mile, mostly off-road trek. It's so cold this morning. Coming from Austin, Texas, nothing prepares me for 25-degree weather. But the excitement of the adventure I have ahead of me quickly overrides any discomfort I'm feeling. It's been amazing thus far. It's like quiet, you can hear the birds chirping, and these trails are just wonderful. I've done a little bit of hike-a-biking, but nothing too hard. My bike's performing really well. I got a dropper post, a new seat post bag, so I'm stoked on that. Man, this is so wonderful. It's just completely silent. It smells like pine, like slightly like burnt pine. And just listening to the sound of the dirt crunching under my tires. It's amazing how well taken care of the Arizona Trail is. There were so few blowdowns on day one. Well, I think that'll do it. I went 43 miles. The place I wanted to camp is about 10 miles down the road from here, but the sun is setting and I don't want to set up camp in the dark, so here I am. I'm starting to enjoy camping so much more than I used to. There's no better feeling than waking up to the sunshine alone in the woods. It feels like I accomplished something by sleeping in the tent. I rode a couple miles down from my tent to eat my dinner because I don't want to be eating smelly food around my tent. So here I am. This is my leftovers from last night. And man, I'm tired. It was mostly flat today, but it was just, the riding was hard. It was rough, it was bumpy, and it was just slow going. I think I rode from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I went about 42 miles. So that gives you some perspective on what the terrain is like. All right, good morning. I slept pretty well last night. It was a little cold, but I still got some hours in. I woke up at about 1 a.m. and coyotes were howling like probably a football field away from my tent. And that kind of scared me. Got me imagining being ripped apart by dogs in the middle of the night. But luckily that didn't happen. This is what I'm eating for breakfast this morning. This is a Pro Bar. They're about 400 calories and way easier than cooking something.
Won't be long. I'm there before the setting sun. For you to fall into my place I call my home.
I just love the way I feel when I wake up in my tent in the woods. I just feel so excited and hopeful about the day. You know, I spend so much time imagining what it's like in my head when I'm planning these trips. And it's so great that when I'm finally out here and I'm doing it, the experience is everything I imagined it could be. The descent into Sedona has you riding into a landscape that looks like the surface of Mars. If I wasn't so hungry, I could have stopped and appreciated it more. Feels like I died and went to heaven. Oh man, that sizzling sound is so satisfying. I'm on this beautiful Sedona single track right now. It's definitely bumpy. There's quite a bit of hike bike, but it's wonderful. The scenery is just amazing. And I have a hotel in Cottonwood tonight, which is about 20 miles away, and I'm probably not going to get there before it gets dark, so we'll see where I end up tonight. Well, the sun's kind of starting to go down, and I must have 10 or 15 miles left before I get to Cottonwood. It's really slow going. It's just like, it's a lot of rough terrain, hike a bike. But man, having this dropper post was like the best decision I ever made. I don't know how I've been bikepacking for 4 years without a dropper post. It made so much difference on this ride. The trails between Sedona and Cottonwood are easily one of the highlights of this ride. The terrain ranges from flowing single track to technical descents. So I'm definitely gonna be riding this in the dark, I think. I think I have an hour and a half of daylight left. And this is the Lime Kiln Trail. I've heard things about this. I've heard that it's not easy, so this will be an adventure. Ooh, we love a dropper post. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Wouldn't be an adventure if I didn't have to do that at least once. Goodbye, sun. I wish you'd stay around a little bit longer. It's kind of scary being out here in the dark, but I'll be okay. It's no big deal. It's kind of fun too. What's scary is usually kind of fun. Come on. I could see the town of Cottonwood on the horizon, but no matter how fast I pedaled my bike, the lights of the town didn't seem to get any closer. I remember stopping my bike several times because I thought I heard something running beside me. This was the most alive and excited I felt on the whole trip. It's these kind of moments that I live for on bikepacking trips. When you're just a little scared and pushing as hard as you can to get to your destination. That was scary. Damn. I think I did 52 miles today, and I made it here in one piece. Ah! Look at this. This was making the 52 miles I did today completely worth it to taste this sweet nectar. Why does it taste so much better after being outside all day? I'll never know. This is the part of the ride that I've been thinking about most in the weeks leading up. Mingus Mountain. Today we have Mingus Mountain, which is the hardest climb of this whole route. It is about 4,300 feet over, I think, 5 or 10 miles. There's gonna be a lot of hike-a-bike. It's gonna be tough. You know, despite how tough this is, it just feels like there's no place I'd rather be right now than climbing up this mountain. It's like, I'm just really enjoying this. I'm enjoying challenging myself. I'm enjoying being outside, sun's coming up, body feels good. It's just a great feeling. You know, it's not so much that the steepest grades are unrideable, it's that the steepest grades also have the rockiest terrain. I don't get why that is. It's like, I could ride this if it was smooth. It's just, with how rocky it is, my back wheel just spins out behind me, which is a feeling that only somebody who has experienced it can understand. It's a horrible feeling. It's like when you're on a roller coaster and you hit the drop and your stomach kind of goes up into your throat. That's what it feels like, at least for me. The difficult parts of bikepacking are all about how you manage your expectations. I went into the Mingus climb knowing it was going to be a slog, and I was mentally prepared for it. The toughest moments on these trips are when you don't anticipate the difficulty, and you have to take it on as it comes. I look forward to these difficult moments on bike trips. It's a unique experience, being in intense physical discomfort, but at the same time, being able to control that discomfort. There were so many times during the climb up Mingus where I had to stop, take a few deep breaths, and remind myself that I would get there. Getting frustrated isn't an option. You don't have the energy to get frustrated.
We got about 1.5 miles left, and there's a spigot at the top, thank God. Man, this is no joke. This is a gnarly hike-a-bike. Mingus Mountain is done. Took me 5 hours. Wasn't too bad though. And now I think I have a smooth gravel road all the way down, so I'm really happy about that. Man, one thing about hike-a-bikes like that is you have to remember to be drinking water and eating food. It's like as soon as you forget to do that because you're in a rush to get it over with, that's when it becomes really hard. So you have to force yourself to stop, rest, drink, and eat. Man, this perfect gravel road is like a dream come true. After that gnarly hike-a-bike, I can't believe how nice this is, and it's all downhill too. Oh, I'm so stoked.
The section coming down off Mingus has some fantastic flowy single track. This is the beginning of the most remote section of the ride, the 70-mile stretch between Mingus and Williams. There's only one water resupply on this section, so it's important to carry enough.
All right, Mingus Day is done. It's behind me. I don't know, I think I went 42 or so miles today. And it's 5 o'clock, sun's going down. And I found the only flat spot that I could find. I was getting a little worried for a while, but this will definitely work for the tent. So.
Yep, that just happened. I let the wind blow over my brand new camera and break my lens off of it. This is going to be an expensive mistake.
Well, as you probably already saw, a massive gust of wind came and knocked my camera tripod over and detached the lens. So that's heartbreaking. And I started getting kind of panicky when I was setting up my tent, and just had to remind myself that it's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I have shelter. It might be a little windy, it might be a little rainy, but I'm going to be fine. And that's the important thing. So I'll get a new lens if I have to, and things will be okay. Honestly, this isn't too bad. It just feels like I'm so grateful to have this shelter right now that it's kind of cozy in here. It's reasonably warm. I'm eating some snacks, looking at pictures on my phone, and it's not the worst thing ever.
Trying to reflect on all the things I have to be grateful for after that disaster with the camera. And one of those things is how well the bike is working. The dropper post has been amazing. It's made this riding so much easier. And the bike has just been performing really well, so I'm glad that it's intact, and I only got about 109 miles left.
Day 4 had me riding a 50-mile stretch of desolate dirt road. After my camera broke, I was asking myself how I could resurrect my high spirits of the previous day. Bikepacking is full of unforeseen circumstances, and your ability to roll with the punches determines how much fun you will have doing this.
All right, so I've made it to the Verde River. This is the only water resupply between here and Williams. And it looks a little green, so I'm gonna filter it and use it as my emergency supply. Now we got a 15-mile climb, about 3,000 feet. But right now it's mostly rideable. Hopefully it stays that way. All right, so right now I'm backtracking because it dawned on me that I might not have enough water to get through the next 40 miles to get to Williams. it's completely dry. And so I'm going way down a hill that I just climbed up. And then I'm gonna refill my everything all the way. So I have almost 6 liters.
The road finally led me back to the big ponderosa forest. The smell of ponderosa pine is something I will forever associate with Arizona. The temperature difference in this part of the ride is also significant. I went from a 60-degree low in Sedona to 25 degrees in the higher altitudes.
We are 9 miles out from Williams. It is definitely cold. My fingers are freezing, but I'm excited to get a real meal and hopefully a hotel tonight. We made it. Time to eat 1,200 calories. All right, so I made it to Williams. I got to a Mexican restaurant here. I got steak fajitas, a beer, some chips and salsa, and I feel really beat up. I think I rode, must have been 50 or 60 miles today, I don't really know, but it was just desolate all day, and the fact that there's a plate of food in front of me is an incredible feeling. All right, I got a hotel room in Williams. I got everything spread out. It feels so good to just be able to spread everything out, whereas like when I'm camping I have to keep track of it. So I'm gonna get some sleep and excited for tomorrow.
I don't think I've had one of these waffles since I was 12, and it ended up being one of my favorite things I ate on the trip.
Running low on the borderline, and you tell me that you're doing fine. Morning color lights the hall.
It's about 26 degrees. I'm leaving Williams, and I have 57 miles left on the Coconino Loop.
Ironically, one of the tougher parts of this ride is on the last day, Sycamore Canyon. The trail is strewn with lava stone, and there's a lot of hike-a-bike.
So far, it's a lot of pushing. It's just a bunch of lava stone here, and it's super hard to ride. But it's pretty warm, and it's beautiful. So I'm feeling good overall.
Coloring outside the lines, and you tell me you're just passing by. Drowning in your reasons why. Somebody's cheap will
Man, this is basically unrideable. I mean, it is so rocky and bumpy. It's like I ride for like 30 seconds, then get off and have to push over rocks. We got about 25 miles left on the Coconino Loop. I think I'm gonna finish today. And I'm being treated to stunning views of the San Francisco peaks right now. Man, this is wonderful. Just the smell of ponderosa trees and the gravel crunching under my tires. This is exactly where I want to be. Trying to savor these last 20 miles or so. We made it, baby. Another one done.
The Coconino Loop was a good reminder that there are no dull moments in bikepacking. It's either fun and amazing, or the hardest thing you've ever done.